All right, people, you guys are watching and or listening to another Nomadic Coal podcast episode. Today, we are going to be doing the 7th official episode of the Let Me Talk to You podcast. Of course, I've done a couple of other episodes with this guest in the past. So let's see if he is online. I'll try to give him a Discord call. And then after that, I will screen share. Rexus Prime says hello. He is in the comment section. And guys, if you do show up and watch the podcast episode, please be sure to go here in the chat sidebar and say what's up. Put any comments you have on the video on the side. And yeah, and in doing so, you'll get a free shout out on the stream, and your name might even pop up like this over here. And if you're a regular, then I might even say your name as well. So yeah, and it should be your YouTube channel name, I believe, here on the side comma. So you will get a shout out by doing so. Anyways, let's see if our good friend is in his spot. Podcast. Alrighty, I'm just getting everything set up so we can be completely live right now. Nah, it sounds pretty clear on my end. Yeah. Alrighty. Just do a quick mic check real quick, and then we'll get on with the show.
All right, so
All right, mic check, 1, 2, 3. All right. And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, we
are live
with another Let Me Talk to Ya podcast episode. We're on episode 7 now, and we've had a couple weeks without doing a podcast, so we have quite a bit to talk about today. Might be on the stream for about, I don't know, I want to give it about an hour or so.
Yeah, an hour or two.
But yeah, so playoffs in the football is all over. Playoffs is all over, and worst teams of all fucking time are in the playoffs.
Hey, what did I say? I've been saying it.
You said
I said it before the season even started. I was saying that Patrick Mahomes is going to go to the Super Bowl again, and he's in the Super Bowl again. I said it before the season even started. So, NFL fans, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. The NFL is fake. Patrick Mahomes, he's just their ultimate stat padding boy. He's never going to miss a Super Bowl. He's never going to miss an AFC championship. He never has in 7 seasons. And yeah, he's in the Super Bowl again. Everyone's angry about it. I'm not surprised at all. I predicted it. I thought it was going to be a revenge tour against the Lions from like week 1 of last season. But no, I guess they wanted to go with a rematch of that Mark Fest Super Bowl with these 2 great black quarterbacks. Because, Joe Biden was talking about how why did it take so long for this to happen? Why has there never been 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl?
well, now they can sit twice.
Yeah, with the same. It's basically the same Super Bowl.
Players. It's the same game as like the same Super Bowl from what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the first one. I'm not watching this one.
I'm not watching it. I said boycott the first one. I boycotted the first one. The only person who watched it was my little brother, who likes the Chiefs. Even though he won't admit it, when we get at family gathering, we're all wearing Cowboys stuff. During the regular season, he'll pretend to be a Cowboys fan, and then at the end, and then in the playoffs, he goes and be a Chiefs fan, and he wears his Chiefs hat.
Those are the only football fans that really. I was gonna say, like, if you're new to the, I'll say this: if you're new to the NFL, I wouldn't recommend the NFL. It's fake garbage. But if you're new to the NFL and you're looking for a team, just choose the Chiefs because they're gonna fucking win every year. You're saving yourself all that stress and all that shit that other fans go through.
Always bet on the Chiefs. Do not bet the under on the Chiefs because you will always lose. The Chiefs.
Yeah, bet on the Chiefs. I bet on the Chiefs throughout the playoffs. Throughout the playoffs of the Texans and the Bills game. I bet on the Chiefs. It's always a safe bet with them. Yeah, they might lose. They might lose a random game in like week 6 of the season, but it won't fucking matter because once they get to the playoffs, they're gonna win. They're gonna automatically go to the Stupid Bowl. It's so far like Mahomes has never missed the AFC Championship. So who's surprised, really? Who's surprised?
Mahomes is having his statistically worst season of his career. He's not playing that flashy football he was playing 2 seasons ago, but he's somehow still winning because of what I said. Bullshit flags. They always bail him out. Damn.
What's in the script? They had it predetermined. But it doesn't make any sense. Their booking isn't consistent because they're having if you actually watch, the media would just say, "Oh, the great Patrick Mahomes, he's perfect, he's the best ever." But then when you actually watch the games, he barely wins. The worst team in the league, the Carolina Panthers, he barely beat them. He got lucky from a field goal to beat them.
Yeah,
if you actually watch the games, Patrick Mahomes is getting bailed out by flags or by his defense or by his kicker, by Harrison Butker, who by the way endorsed Trump a while back. So yeah, I like Harrison Butker. He's cool. The rest of the cheats, not so much.
Yeah, and the Chiefs have a stat that literally says they're the team that has the most favorable calls go their way. It's literally stacked. They have the highest percentage of any team right now to have a favorable call. So don't be surprised if
not surprised
again and beat the Eagles again.
They probably will. I mean, I really don't care either way. But if I had money on the line, the safe bet is just bet for the Chiefs. They're automatically going to win. The NFL just has it. The NFL has it predetermined that they're just going to not lose. There's going to be this juggernaut team. I don't want to hear any Patriots Brady comparisons because Brady wasn't winning this much in his first 7 years. He had competition. In the playoffs, he couldn't beat Manning a couple times. He couldn't beat Jake Plummer a couple times. Patrick Mahomes, he just beats everyone. He lost. Well, he had one fluke loss to Joe Shiesty, but that was it. Look at Joe Shiesty now. That loss, he got his revenge the next year. And where's Joe Shiesty now? He's irrelevant. He's a jobber now.
Yeah, he didn't make the playoffs this year. That's how irrelevant he is. And I told people a while ago. A lot of the Bengals fans got mad at me when I made that video about Joe Shiesty. What was that? Almost 4 years ago. And then I told you guys, within the next few seasons, he's going to be not in the playoffs anymore, and the Bengals are going to be right back where they were, a jobber team.
I was calling it. I knew the NFL wasn't that high on Joe Shiesty. They just wanted, I don't know, I guess they tried to make a little one season underdog thing where this white quarterback that I don't know, it's Joe Shiesty, he plays a character too. For some reason he's obsessed with SpongeBob, and that so happened to be the first Super Bowl on Nickelodeon, so they had to go with that guy. I guess they had to go with the guy that loves SpongeBob.
He's played 4 other cartoon Nickelodeon type games as well. He only was not in only one cartoon game, and that was the Rams versus Denver Broncos Nickelodeon game.
I guess the Nickelodeon. I don't know. Is this Super Bowl still even on Nickelodeon?
I hear the Super Bowl's gonna be on Tubi.
Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi. Either that or you get a
Just
buy it
on
on
Tubi, or
cable.
it's gonna be like NBC too, like on TV. It must have like a TV stream because Tubi is a streaming site, an app.
An app. Yeah, the NFL's gonna be on. The Super Bowl's gonna be on Tubi, from the ad that I saw.
That's odd.
Yeah, and then
They probably have a stream on Tubi, and they have an additional broadcast on
yeah, they're gonna
some
have
TV station, probably like NBC or Fox.
they're gonna have the main broad, like you gotta like buy it on cable, like you gotta have like cable TV and shit, and it's gonna be on one of those stations.
Yep. That's how it's always been. It's usually on like NBC or ESPN or like Fox Sports.
Watch like, and then you still gotta watch like 150 of commercials, you know.
That's what it is. Like the Stupid Bowl, it's just a glorified. It's a glorified 6-hour commercial. 90% of the Stupid Bowl is just commercials, woke movie advertisements, and woke like Black Lives Matter advertisements and shit, and like a mumble rap concert in between. And like about like 40% of it is an actual football game.
Mumble rappers in this one. It's not even gonna be anybody interesting, really. Just a bunch of mumble rappers.
The Super Bowl halftime, there's never really been a good one. Over the years, over the years when I did follow the NFL over the years, I didn't pay attention to the halftime show. I was paying attention to the football game. But now I'm over the NFL, and like I don't even I don't even know who is performing at the halftime show, and I don't really care. I just know it's probably mumble rap because that's what everyone listens to these days, is just mumble rap or fucking pop like Taylor Swift and shit.
Yeah. The only thing too is all the casual, all like, what? You never heard of this pop singer? You never heard of this mumble rapper? I love these guys. It's gonna be all the casuals.
Pretty much.
Anyway,
Like,
we also had the Royal Rumble.
Oh,
we'll move on to that. So fucking Super Cena almost won the Royal Rumble. I was almost right, and then Jey Uso did some bullshit thing where he fell behind and bounced him off the ropes, and he fell down like a cartoon character. And then that's how the Royal Rumble was won. Jey Uso won. He's just his catchphrase is just knock off LA Knight.
He's a fucking mumble rapper too.
And it's just
he comes out with like
5 years ago.
He comes out with like goofy hair, like mumble rapper hair, and he dresses like a fucking retard. He has like the stupid glasses and shit. And like he dances, he does a stupid dance, and he has like who the fuck's that? There was like like Lil Wayne and like Travis Scott, some mumble rappers coming over and shit with him in his entrance. I'm sick of mumble rap. It's taking over the NFL, and now you got to fucking. I mean, wrestling is fucking gay and infested with nerds, but like, you got a mumble rapper now.
Now mumble raps in WWE.
And you're pushing it to the moon. You got a fucking mumble rapper.
Yeah.
And
obviously
that was
Royal Rumble, right?
I knew LA Knight wasn't going to win the Rumble. I've been calling it. Like, they don't really care about LA Knight that much. Like, he lost the fucking U.S. title. And what the fuck's he going to do for WrestleMania? Fight for the U.S. title again? It looks like they quickly dropped that storyline because he lost a rematch. They're like he basically lost the U.S. title for nothing. Like, it was the perfect time to have him win the Rumble and fucking win the world title, but no, they're too focused on the bloodline. You know, because they're all related. Because they're all related to Boom Lames. So they want to push the shit out of these fucking boring ass Samoan wrestlers that aren't good.
Yeah, they just really
I
they're really
I
hyped
never
on Roman. They're really hyped up on him.
I never fucking liked the Usos. They sucked from the beginning. They were these goofy fucking cartoonish, screaming happy-go-lucky characters, and then they became mumble rappers. And they were never good at promos. They were always like they were never good. They were only pushed because they like WWP's obsessed with the Anoa'i family. Like I never liked them. They were like I don't want to hear. Oh, they were a good tag. They weren't even a good tag team. They sucked as a tag team, and now they suck as singles competitors. I don't fucking care about Jimmy Uso or Jay Uso. They suck.
If you ask me, the Usos they're just a product of the PG era, and it just lowered all the standards down. Like when during the peak of the PG era, the two top teams were the Usos and the New Day, right? And then, but back in the day, we actually had good tag teams. We had the Hardy Boys, we had the Dudleys, we had the
The
fucking
New Age Outlaws.
Outlaws, we
And,
had Generation X,
and
we
back in like
had
before that,
Evolution. Those guys were cool. Those guys were awesome. And now,
we also had the Outsiders, the Steiners, the Dutch.
yeah,
The Steiners, Road
that's
Warriors.
WCW. My era is a little bit newer, like Ruthless Aggression era, and then fucking what's it called? TNA. I watched some TNA, and then after that we did.
And it had Beer Money. Beer Money was underrated as hell. They were the best fucking tag team in TNA. I don't want to hear the Motor City Machine Guns. I used to like the Machine Guns as a kid, but like I was a kid.
Motor City Machine Guns was just
What?
like they're just like a high flying tag team. Basically, they're just like high flyers. That was pretty much all they do, but just spot monkey stuff. They had a cool name though. Now they're in WWE.
That's it. I mean, that's why as a kid, I guess as a kid, I was a kid, a different mind. So they had a cool name, they had a cool theme song in TNA. So I used to like them as a tag team, but I also like Beer Money, and Beer Money was actually a good tag team. I don't know why the fuck WWP has Robert Roode, but not James Storm. Like, you could have had Beer Money there. You could have had Beer Money this whole time, but like, no, they just have Robert Roode as like a single jobber. Like, Robert Roode's irrelevant without James Storm. You gotta have them as a tag team.
Yeah, they basically with Robert Roode, with Bobby Roode, they made him like a kind of a mid carder for like the early of his career. He was like top of the card in NXT and the Carter on the main roster, and then he went over to Raw, and then he just became this like heel that lost all the time.
They had won the U.S. title too, but the U.S. title, that's a jobber title. That title doesn't mean shit. Everyone, Santino won that title, for fuck's sakes. Like, it makes no sense how you have one half of Beer Money, but like you don't have the other half, and you just have him be like, I don't know, this irrelevant jobber, this boring jobber.
Well, you gotta.
But anyways, yeah, like
about LA Knight, he's taking such a long time to get to the fucking title picture, and they just keep throwing him into them grudge matches and meaningless feuds, and he fights fucking jobbers all the time. And he lost his title to a jobber, although it wasn't clean. He still lost the belt and never got a rematch. WWE
he got the rematch, but he lost the rematch.
Or WWE giving LA Knight the Robert Roode treatment.
Basically, but the thing is, he's actually a main event level talent, unlike Robert Roode. Robert Roode's just a tag team specialist. They just keep fumbling, and they just keep fumbling every fucking time. I'm so over it already. It's like, we're just waiting forever. The guy's probably going to retire like 2 or 3 years from now. He's not young. He's like 43 years old. He's probably going to retire soon. And I highly fucking doubt it. If he does win a world title, he'll win one world title. If he does, but I doubt he'll even win one world title because they're so focused on other fucking jobbers. They're so focused on Booming Lames and fucking Jay Uso for some fucking reason. CM Junk, he's getting lost. He's getting lost in the shuffle with all these fucking jobbers that he's a million times better than.
Triple H
I don't know.
You know, he's just
I lost all hope in an LA Knight push.
Triple H. He just really likes
Thing is,
Roman
it's
Reigns and CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes. Doesn't
thing is in WWP, in WWP, it's a lot different from how it was in the Attitude Era. Back in the Attitude Era, there was, like Vince McMahon had no choice but to push the guys who were over. Because there was competition with WCW, they almost put WWF out of business. So they had to push the guys who were over. Now there's no threat of competition. I don't want to hear AEW, but even though I think AEW is a little more tolerable, but that's a very low bar. But the AEW pisses me off a lot less than WWP.
I've actually been
But
noticing AEW's. It almost seems like now that they've brought in a bunch of those legends like Chris Cage and fucking Edge and fucking
yeah, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are now they're tag team champions. They did one thing right.
Don't they got Matt Hardy still over there too?
I think they have both Hardy Boys there.
With Hardys. Like now that they've had those guys for a while, but now they're starting to get into the main event feuds, and it almost seems like AEW is trying to step up their game while WWE keeps doing the same old shit and people are getting tired of the product. WWE's also losing money as well at the moment. They're like seriously compressing their product. And when I say that, they sold the Peacock deal already, right? They sold out to
I hate that.
So now you don't have WWE Network or any of that
You
anymore.
don't have Raw episodes. No. So this is what happened with the Peacock deal. I don't know if you heard about what happened with the Peacock deal. So this is what happened. Peacock still has the library, the whole full library of SmackDown, WCW, ECW, old pay-per-views. They have all of that, but except Raw. They got rid of Raw. Raw is now on Netflix. But the thing is, Netflix won't air every single Raw episode. So like me, I was binge watching through the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, and I can't anymore because the Raw episodes I was watching are now gone.
So now on Peacock,
no one knows if they ever will upload it on Netflix.
So now on Peacock, all you can watch is WCW, ECW, and old
SmackDown.
WWF paperworks and SmackDown.
There's SmackDown 2 still on Peacock. There's just no Raw. Just all the old Raw episodes from '93 all the way to every single Raw episode is gone from Peacock. So if you're in the middle of binge watching through it, you can't anymore because it's all the Raw episodes are gone now. Like Netflix has some, they don't have all of them. They only have fucking 9 episodes per year, 9 out of 52 episodes each year. So you can't binge watch through old WWE anymore, WWF anymore, because Raw is gone.
Well,
I fucking hate that. I hate that Netflix deal because I was watching through. I was actually watching through week by week, and I can't do that anymore because they took away Raw.
Yeah, that's
bad. That's bullshit. I hate it.
This is bullshit.
It is bullshit. The only reason why I like Peacock because I like watching the old stuff. I'm a historian. I like catching up on all the old stuff that I missed out on. They took that away now. It's I can't watch it anymore. It's bullshit. At least put it somewhere. At least upload it somewhere else. But no, the Raw episodes are completely gone from the public. And I hear that Netflix isn't even clarifying what they'll do with it if they'll actually upload every single Raw episode.
Excuse me.
So yeah, that's the deal with the Peacock. That's the thing with the Peacock deal. That's what happened with Peacock. Just every Raw episode's gone.
That sucks.
But yeah, fucking WWE. I'm sick and tired. I've been sick and tired of pretending that WWP is better than AEW when they're on the same. Well, we're talking about the quality of the show. AEW pushes better guys than WWP. Yeah, they have fucking indie jobbers like Dean Ambrose and fucking Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. But they got better nostalgia acts, and at least they kind of push the right nostalgia acts, and their nostalgia acts aren't from the PG era. Like WWP's nostalgia acts are just Super Cena and CM Junk, and they're not really good nostalgia acts.
Yeah.
And like AEW just has like AEW has more nostalgia acts, and their nostalgia acts are even better, and it's not as insulting as WWP's. And WWP, they're still relying on the same fucking guys from like I don't know, basically the Shield. They have the Shield as a nostalgia act now, and Shield fucking
Yeah.
sucks. I don't care about the Shield. Give me AEW's nostalgia acts. They're a lot better.
Yeah.
They're neck and neck.
Too bad Tony.
I think they're neck and neck.
Mark.
Tony Khan's still a fucking mark, but like in comparison, if you had a gun to my head, and you forced me to either watch AEW or WWP, I would rather watch AEW. That's a very low bar, but AEW annoys me a little less.
That makes sense.
And WWP, they have this generational talent that's like new and fresh, and but they're just fucking. I don't know what they're not doing shit with him. Oh, but he's in Slim. I don't care that he's in Slim Jim commercials. That doesn't mean shit. He's not winning. He's nowhere near the world title scene. I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah.
It's like
put him in the.
It's annoying.
Title scene, man. Yeah, put him in the title scene.
Like LA Knight, he needs to leave WWP. They're not going to do shit with him. There's other there's other guys they'd rather push than him. He's like on the side, so he needs to leave WWP right now.
Yeah.
I doubt AEW will push him either, but they probably push him a lot better than WWP would.
Yeah, they probably would at least try to do something interesting with him if he went to AEW. I mean,
they probably push him.
He was at the top of the world in TNA.
He was a world champion in TNA, but then TNA also buried him on his way out because they were gonna have him job to a female wrestler. They were gonna have him job to a diva, a knockout.
That's why he went.
So that's why he left TNA.
No, that's bullshit. Any news with the
because WWE
boxing?
Yeah, Israel Adesanya. He just fought. I don't know how to pronounce his name. This new French guy. Imavov, and yeah, he got knocked out in the second round, 30 seconds in the second round.
Oh yeah,
that was
yeah. Israel Adesanya has been on a losing streak as of recently.
He's been figured out. Like I was thinking Imavov was gonna take him down and take him down, and it was gonna be like a boring fight because Adesanya he can't grapple. But no. Imavov knocked him out in the second round. So Adesanya, I think he's done. His run is over. He's also getting he's also 35. He's already at that age where you start falling off. And also MVP Michael Venom Page beat Shara Magomedov, one of the pirate they call him, the Dagestani guy with the guy with the one eye.
Oh, that's great.
And Shara, apparently he's the one Dagestani guy that actually can't grapple, that's more of a striker, and MVP beat him at his own game, I guess.
No, MVP Venom Page.
Magomedov.
Like Michael Venom Page, he's one of the most technical strikers in MMA, honestly.
The MVP, yeah, you can't striking with him. He's actually to be fair, he is one of the better strikers in UFC. And Shara, he has no grappling game. It caught up to him because with MVP you kind of can't really stand with him. Thing is with Shara, he hasn't beaten anyone notable yet. He was still I want to say a prospect.
Yeah,
he was still a prospect by the UFC, and I think he's been fraud checked.
I think so. I mean, then again, you could also say he just got fed to the lions as well. UFC just put him against one of the world's best strikers, and Michael Venom Page. I mean, Michael Venom Page, the guy who just fucking flying these people in the face out, man. He's brutal.
Oddly, the way it was booked, the way the betting odds was they had MVP as a huge underdog in that fight. I don't know what they were thinking because they're both strikers, and MVP's he's a world class striker. He's been, he's one of the best strikers in UFC, and then you got this new guy who hasn't really beaten anyone good yet. He's beat up a bunch of bums, and it didn't really make sense how Shara was the betting favorite. But yeah, I'm glad I won some money off of that fight though.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah. Go for it.
on that on that card, you had Sergey Pavlovich and Rosenstrike. I think that's how you say his name, Rosenstrike. They were like both in the top 10 of heavyweights, and it was a pretty boring fight. Pavlovich just took him down and held him down. And on the feet, they were both just hesitant.
What
But yeah, that was.
What happened to the ground and pound knockouts of the old days? Like I was watching fucking Pride FC the other night, and I remember those used to fucking elbows and punches and hammer fists to the face, brutal ground and pound. Nowadays, it seems like people just want to hold people down for the control time, and maybe throw these little rabbit punches every now and then, but nothing of like actual substance.
I blame the judging system. They have it's kind of the easy way to get into it. Like grab them, hold them down. The judges will automatically give you the round because of control time. I think they got to do something about that. They got to do something about the control time on the judging and shit.
You'd probably, I feel like also maybe a strategy thing too, because if you go like it kind of does make sense too. If you go all crazy with ground and pound, especially against a fresh
you're gonna gas out.
You can gas out pretty easily. Most of your strikes will get blocked, and it gives your opponent an opportunity to counter it or like roll you over and then get you on your back. But at the same time, I do want to see some aggression, and I don't just watching some guy just getting held up against the cage and then like a little light trip down and then they fall and then they just hold each other on the ground and hug each other the whole time.
It's basically just a high school wrestling match, a college wrestling match, just holding him down and trying to pin him down. That style of MMA,
even in like high school.
Well, they got to make some changes to the judging
because it's just wrestling. You see a lot more excitement and stuff. Like you see like people getting like dragon screw takedowns, and like they'll bridge up on their neck and then try to flip the guy off, and they'll do like small cradles. Like the grappling's a lot more. The action's a lot more interesting. It's high action, even in like college wrestling. It's versus like in UFC, you'll often see guys just getting held down in half guard or full guard for almost a whole match.
Yeah, thinking like the guys just doing that though. I think they're doing it because it's the easy way, and the way it's a good strategy.
Save energy.
It's a good strategy. It saves energy, and it's kind of the safe way to get the round on the judges' score. And I don't know. I think if the judging was better, if they did something about the whole control time thing on the judging, maybe it would kind of change it. Maybe it would kind of add, maybe it would kind of make fighters take more risks. But yeah, I hate that thing with the control time. It leads to a lot of boring fights.
Yeah, and refs need to. I mean, I know there's a jiu-jitsu aspect to it, and you need to have some time to let people set things up. But at the same time, if they're not even hitting each other and they're clearly just holding them down, refs need to come on, guys, action. Fans are gonna start booing.
Just like Mario Bautista versus Jose Aldo a couple months ago. Bautista just held him against the cage. He didn't strike. He didn't try to take him down. No, he just hugged him around the waist and held him up against the fence. And like for 3 rounds he did that, and the judges gave him the unanimous decision for that. They consider that control time, but like, it's not really controlling the fight. It's not controlling the fight when you're just holding the guy, not doing anything, not striking, not trying to take him down.
Position.
He's just standing there. He's just standing there and hugging him. That's not really controlling the fight.
Yeah, especially if you're holding a guy in over under, which is literally like a 50-50 position.
Basically, yeah. So yeah, that was UFC Saudi Arabia last weekend.
Yeah, but we also got some political news as well, since we can move on to the political half of the show. Um, guys, Donald Trump has officially he has done a lot of executive orders over the last couple weeks. One of the biggest ones is he has officially banned transgender athletes from female sports. And
Yeah, thank God. I'm
this
for that 100%.
is good. This is a good.
Common sense.
This is common.
Common sense.
This is
Like I don't see how anyone could oppose that. I don't know how Biden let that happen. Like let that bullshit happen. It's bullshit. It's just stupid. It's stupid. It's common sense prevails again. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad Trump did it just like that. It's like what? We're like only like 2 weeks, or like a week, or we're like 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the administration, and he already did that.
the
Just like
culture
that.
war has
I'm happy about that.
the culture war has already basically been won for the time being, at least. I mean, who knows what happens in the next election? They might elect Michelle Obama, and everything just goes back to what it was. But at least for now,
God, Big Mike.
it seems like the culture war has basically been won because one, at the federal level for all federal documents, you only got two boxes now. You got to mark either female, pick one. I have no qualms with that. I mean, really, this is just common sense, like for non-binary makes up such a small portion of the population. It's like a 0.000000001% population that it doesn't make sense to like put the option there, especially since most of them, the non-binaries, are just teens basically that are just going through a phase, or are people who have a mental illness.
Yeah. I mean, they're mentally and yeah, most non-binary, most of that shit, they're like, it's like teens or like people in their early 20s. They're following trends and shit.
Yeah, social
It's
media.
a very low percent of the population,
If you
and
ask
it's also
for
it's mostly people just following trends. It's mostly just woke SJWs that listen to everything, that just follow every trend. And apparently, well, for the past 4 years, it's been a trend to be completely woke, and most of them are just brainwashed kids that are following trends.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, I do think there's a lot of factors that play into these sort of things. One of them, you're right. It is a social media trend to to uh, try to be the different and be this non-binary whatever, since it's like they're making it a trend. It's like what all the kids are doing on the internet, especially these young kids on TikTok. It's crazy. And then you have like influencers that are going out of their way, like Dylan Mulvaney, who are trying to influence them, and it's bad. There's a lot of other things too. I mean, some of it could be like atrazine and food dyes. Some of it is like just social media, and others it is just confused teens with hormones, and other of it is other things could be like mental disorders as well, like gender dysmorphia.
Yeah, could be
But yeah,
mentally
I just
insane.
think it doesn't make any sense to to try to pander to such a tiny percent of people that you might have one non-binary in an entire county for the next like 7 counties over.
I've been sick and tired of the pandering. I've been sick and tired of this, just fucking just glazing these people, like being forced to glaze these people like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, or like they're fucking like they're victims. They're really not victims. They're just mentally insane people that aren't there, and they want attention. And why are we giving it to them? That's what I'm saying. Why are we giving it to them? Like, I'm glad Trump did that. Trump finally fucking clarified that, yeah, there are only two genders. Like it or not, there are only two genders. I've been sick of I've been sick of this whole imagination thing with the non-binary and the transgender shit. I'm glad it's over.
I'm telling you this too. The Zem, Zers, and Zems aren't real. Frog self isn't real. That is just all bullshit. It is clown self, because all you're doing is being a clown on social media when you put those stupid neo pronouns in your bio.
Yeah, it's retarded. We're living in a clown world for the past 4 years. Like, this is why I like Trump. This is why I've always been behind Trump. He's not afraid to do that shit. Like Biden, he's a fucking coward. He allowed that woke shit to take over the country and shit. Like Trump, he was not taking that shit. He did something about it. I'm glad he did.
Yeah, and then
just the culture war, it's been getting out of hand.
And then people are obviously still crying about the federal removal of all transgenders from all, I guess, federal sports.
Prisons too.
I'm very interested.
Sports.
I guess if it's like in prisons or whatever, and then in the prisons one is good. That's a different one. I think I don't know. I didn't know that we had federal sports programs, like that we had federal like sports leagues in the federal government. I didn't know that was a thing. But I guess if that is a thing, then they're apparently banned from that. So good on Donald for banning, doing the right thing, the obvious thing of like not having males go up against females when there's obvious genetic differences. Like obviously, males have more high twitch muscle fiber than females do. So why would you want a male to box against a female in a boxing match?
Yeah, basically, we just got some faggot there pretending to be a woman. Basically, a lot they always say men shouldn't be beating women, but they've literally been just allowing that. They've just been allowing men, so men could just pretend to be a woman and beat the fuck out of a woman in a boxing match. It's just stupid. I don't get how. I don't like that already should be a fucking red flag. Like if you're not if you're for that, something's fucking wrong with you. It's just common sense.
It's like very sad. There's that one transgender athlete that was in I don't even think it was Bellator. I think it was just like no, it was Bellator.
I think it was PF. I don't know if it was PFL. It might have been PFL.
Bellator, but there's a transgender that they let fight, and she like broke this one chick's orbital. She beat up a whole fuck ton of chicks, and then this one chick who was like, she wasn't even that good. She was just more skilled than the other chicks that transgender girl had beat up on, and she was just agile and fast, and was like clearly had taken had trained for a few months in like boxing and done a little bit of jiu-jitsu and stuff, right? And she was like piecing her up. She was on the outside throwing punches and stuff, and then they clinched up, and then the girl that she was fighting had some unique takedowns and was able to get on top and beat her up and win the fight.
Just like the Riley Gaines. I don't know if you know about the Riley Gaines thing with the swimmer, the fucking William Thomas. He calls himself Leah Thomas now.
I heard of that. Yeah.
before he started competing against women, when he just competed against men, I heard he wasn't a good swimmer at all. He was horrible. He was like always last place. I heard he really wasn't a good swimmer. But then he goes against the women and he ties with he didn't even beat Riley Gaines. He just tied with her. It's like just
Yeah.
even the most I don't know even the least conditioned men are still like a lot like are still gonna beat the most conditioned women or at least tie with them. Especially in it's a lot in MMA. It's like a lot different too because men are also stronger and
In MMA,
bigger,
it's
like
a lot. It's in
heavier
MMA, it's a lot
than
scarier.
women and
There's
shit.
definitely an advantage in swimming and a bunch of other sports as well. Quite frankly, I don't really care if like you're trying to play like golf or something. Like nobody really gives a shit about that, honestly.
Are there even genders with golf? Are there
I don't
even
even
gender
know. I
divisions
think
with
the
golf?
men plays
I don't
against
even
the
fucking know.
women's. I think the men actually play against the women's. I don't think it really
They
matters
do. I mean, I guess that's
either.
different. It's not really physical.
Yeah, like nobody really gives a shit. But MMA for me is like wrestling, MMA, boxing. Those are the really big ones.
Yeah, combat sports. Yeah, combat sports. Yeah, it's like it's fucking physical. You're literally allowing a man to beat up a woman on live TV. You can't. No one can convince me that that's okay. Oh, but he identifies as a woman. No, no, he doesn't. That's make believe. He really isn't a woman. It doesn't matter. No one fucking cares what he identifies as. That doesn't mean shit. You're
No,
just playing make believe.
that's still a dude just on hormones and in drag.
Just because he chopped his dick off doesn't make him a woman. Doesn't mean he can compete against women. It's just stupid. Like our society has gotten that low where we're all arguing about stupid shit that's just common sense.
Yeah, we just like it's just a lot of bullshit, and it's a distracting bullshit too because it distracts from like the actual problems. The prisons one is also a good ban as well because there is multiple cases of the transgender inmates going in there in the prisons and then have way with the female inmates and then getting female inmates pregnant.
Yeah, in prison, like they're I don't get that. That's fucking stupid. Like just like the sports, that's just like with the sports, that's fucking stupid. Exactly. Like, like we all know rape and shit that always goes on like everyone says that happens in prisons. And when you put a man pretending to be a woman with a woman in a jail cell, you know, fucking mentally insane, man, and he's raping the woman, you got a kid. It's like, what do you expect? Like, like, I don't know. It's just stupid. I don't know why they don't think like that. I don't know what they
Well,
don't.
a
I
lot,
don't know. Like, I don't know how the wokies aren't thinking like that.
a lot of these guys that they put in the women's prisons are also people under like sex charges as well. Like they were dude, and then they previously had like you had a sexual assaulted a woman, ever, and then they went to jail, and then in jail they transgender,
But
and
the
then
woman, yeah, you're
they,
giving them what they want.
go to the women's prison, and then they do the same offense.
Yeah, it's stupid. You're giving them what they want. Actually,
Yeah.
their sex. It doesn't make any sense. You got a guy who sexually assaulted someone, so he's thrown in jail with a woman. Now he shares a jail cell with a woman. Yeah, of course he's gonna sexually assault her again. It's stupid.
They
But I'm glad that shit's over. I'm glad Trump did something about that.
it's
I'm sick of the pandering to these fucking freaks.
they're basically they keep trying to push this bullshit, and it seems like the Democrats they don't learn. They don't learn. And that's because all of them, people tried to warn them exactly where they went wrong in the past, and what do they do? They just ignored it. So now Elon Musk is going into doing Doge, and he's gone in and he's investigating all the overspending at USA and they found a lot of where your tax dollars are going. Apparently, your tax dollars are going to DEI program transgender operas in third world countries.
Yeah, gender surgeries and shit. Yeah, I heard of that. That's
Function research in Wuhan
bullshit.
and terrorist organizations.
Yeah, I heard something about that. The fucking gender surgeries. We were fucking paying for gender surgeries in other countries.
Yeah,
It's like,
we were paying for.
what the fuck?
We were paying for one of the ones was we paid for a transgender opera in Colombia. We also paid for diversity, equity, inclusion programs in Burma public schools, and we also paid for a transgender ice skating show about climate change. So
Really weird shit.
this is where all your tax dollars are going. The other one, the biggest, most alarming one, though, I think was $39 million going to function research in Wuhan, China, which is why the CIA now says that the COVID-19 thing, the bug, started in a lab. And CIA admits this. So YouTube can't cancel me over saying the virus started in a lab, which we've been saying for years, by the way. And now they're admitting that the U.S. government went in and funded research to make it so that way diseases that normally spread in animals get over to humans, and that's also why we got monkeypox too.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Like, finally, though. Finally,
Covering
I don't know why they I
the
don't know why the fuck they've been trying to cover it up for years, though. It's been like 5 years, and they've been trying to hide that from us when we all knew.
Oh, they've been trying to hide it because they've been trying to hide it on purpose because they didn't want to get caught. But now everyone
They're afraid of what China's gonna think of that.
They're not afraid of what China's gonna think of it. China wanted it to happen. What they are afraid of
So
is
why were they hiding anyway?
what they're afraid of is they're afraid of these dark secrets getting out and then the public knowing and realizing, hey, we have to do something about this. We have to vote these guys out of office and get new people in.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's what they were terrified. They're terrified of losing their jobs. They're terrified of being held accountable.
Yeah.
So that's why they hid it. Yeah.
So I
have to applaud Elon.
Like
I have to applaud Elon. He's doing a good thing over there, exposing all this fraudulent, wasteful spending in USID and the U.S. Treasury, and hopefully he does cut $1 trillion. If anyone can do it, it's the guy who took a rocket and made it fly up into space, come back down onto Earth, and land safely.
Yeah. Who the fuck like Biden? Who the fuck would Biden hire? He'd hire someone. Well, yeah, we've seen Biden's hires. He's just been DEI. The Biden administration's just been DEI. He's just been hiring the first black lesbian press secretary, and Rachel, that fucking guy.
Kareem Jean-Pierre is officially gone.
Kareem Jean-Pierre.
I'll have Caroline.
Yeah, his replace. Speaking of that, speaking of that, I like the new press secretary now.
Well,
he tells it like it is.
Guess what? She was the old press secretary too. So Donald Trump just took the old press secretary and brought her back.
Oh, from Trump's first run. Oh, good. I'm like, that's already an improvement from Cringe Jean-Pierre. You really can't get any worse than Cringe Jean-Pierre. She was fucking horrible. Couldn't stand her.
Caroline Levitt, she's doing a fine job as press secretary.
A lot better than Cringe Jean Pierre, that's for sure.
Yeah. And now we also have good news about the cabinet positions getting moved on as well. RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard have officially passed their committee level votes that went pretty much along party lines. And now Tulsi Gabbard has had her vote move out of the Intelligence Committee onto the Senate floor, and RFK Jr., his vote has moved out of the Finance Committee and also onto the Senate floor. So both of them will now be voted on starting next week to officially get their cabinet positions confirmed. So we're going to make America healthy again, and we're going to root out the corruption in the Department of Intelligence as well.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, Trump did it. Trump kept his word. He put RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard in those positions, and Elon.
Elon is Doge, and they established that literally on the first day, actually, by executive order. And the Democrats are losing their shit. Hillary Clinton.
Of course they are.
Hillary Clinton is terrified, actually, that Donald Trump is having Doge go in and do what they said that Doge was going to do.
Of course. I hope he exposes the thing that happened with the emails and shit with Hillary and the Epstein list and the Diddy list. I hope he really exposes that too.
Yeah, he needs to release the Epstein list and Diddy list. And we're still also waiting to hear back about the JFK, MLK Jr. and
that too. Yeah,
senior files as well.
I forgot about that.
Well, it was 45 days.
I don't know how it took so long. I don't know how it took so long for them to. I don't know why they've like it took. Why did it take so long for them to finally release those? About Martin Luther King and JFK. Like that was like over 60. Both were like over 60 years ago.
Well,
I don't know why it took them so fucking long.
Intelligence agencies want to keep their integrity, and the intelligence agencies did a lot of shady shit in the past, so they need to get, the story is that the reason they did not release RFK Senior's one is because there was people still alive that were involved. But I mean, if they were involved and they were criminals,
they're like really old
too. Yeah, you'd want to have them arrested. I mean, you still have a man who's supposedly innocent locked up in jail, Sirhan, when in actuality the Secret Service member shot RFK Sr. in the back. So you have an innocent man in jail, and then the other guy, the Secret Service member, I believe he's dead now. Like he just passed away.
Yeah. I mean, those alive, like those involved that are still alive, they're like really old right now anyway.
Yeah. They're pretty old, but I think it's more so the intelligence agencies also they're trying to cover it up because they want the public trust them, even though the public really doesn't trust them anymore.
No one trusts them, man. As if we don't already trust them.
I mean, I definitely don't. I don't trust them spying on shit. They were supposed to. They had all the intelligence to stop 9/11, and they didn't do shit. So, they were supposed to do that, and they couldn't. So their integrity has been ruined over the last, I don't know, 50 or 60 years or so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, so we have those positions getting filled out pretty soon. think we're still waiting to hear if Kash Patel is going to get nominated as well. He's going to be leading. What position was it again? I believe he's going to be leading FBI director. Yeah, we're still waiting. Yep, we're still waiting to hear as the vote comes in.
We will find out.
They basically just kicked the vote down the down later on down the line. So it's going to take a little bit. But we do know that RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard's votes are supposed to, they're going to be in the Senate. The full Senate votes are going to be next week.
Full Senate votes.
Yeah,
so
the entire Senate is going to vote on the nominees, RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, to get them into their positions.
Oh, so only the Senate's voting, right?
Yeah,
that's public.
That's how they elect nominees. The Senate will vote.
Oh, I see.
As to how to get a nominee in. Yeah, it's exciting times though.
Yeah.
And then,
for sure.
What else? We have for all the people who is hella mad about Donald Trump bringing back Title 10 and standing up for the female athletes against this whole transgender federal sports thing that is crazy. For all the people who are mad about this, I actually have a message from an LGBT group that actually said that they're congratulating President Trump for sticking up against Title 10 against the transgender madness.
Huh.
And they're saying this is the official message. It says President Trump's executive order restores the common sense reality of biological sex into Title 10 and protects women's sports, along with the opportunities for female athletes that come with it. We applaud President Trump's decisive action on one of his core campaign promises. Gender-obsessed radical left LGBTQ plus Y7 activists spent 4 years under the Biden administration quietly trying to rewrite Title 10 and force the agenda of biological men competing in women's sports as the law of the land. Thanks to outspoken voices across the country, most importantly, outspoken, brave female athletes themselves, the left lost in the courts. They lost in public opinion, and they lost at the ballot box in November. Those that say today's order is anti-LGBT are disingenuous and only trying to fan the flames of their losing culture war. LGBT conservatives firmly believe that support for trans Americans does not come at the expense of woman equality. Log Cabin Republicans President Charles Morin. So take that, transgender SJW activists.
Yeah. Suck it. I'm glad. I'm glad it happened. I'm fucking glad. I've been sick and tired of the. I knew they were going to be saying that. I knew they were going to be saying, "Oh, that's transphobic. That's homophobic." No, they're just trying to throw labels at us to guilt. I guess to guilt trip us, but it's not working.
They've been trying this
for
years. They've been trying this for years, but they didn't learn. They didn't learn apparently after November, even though a few Democrats did try to tell them exactly why they lost. They didn't listen. They didn't learn that the reason they lost was they kept trying to push the culture war bullshit that really not that many people care that much about. And instead of actually focusing on the issues, which, was actually being talked about, didn't focus on the economy. They didn't focus on, they didn't focus on, making America healthy again and the chronic disease epidemic. They didn't focus on any of that, and they wanted to focus on, can transgenders play in women's sports?
Yeah, they really had nothing. They really had nothing. So they relied on false narratives, and they used the culture war as a distraction. They used that distraction to market the whole campaign, and it didn't work. It didn't work for them.
That and abortion was like their main talking point. Like every single
and abortion.
about abortion. Which, it's so weird that they worship abortion so much. Which is like a surgery that should happen on rare emergency occasions, if you ask me.
And they lied about it too. Their whole thing was like the way they, like, from what I heard, the way they try to present it is as if Trump's going to completely ban it. You completely ban it if he's elected, and like that wasn't even true. They went on a lie. Their whole thing was a lie.
They said Donald Trump was going to completely ban abortion, and, well, it didn't happen at all. Donald Trump said the whole time he was going to leave it up to the states, and that's what he left it up to last time. The only thing that happened was the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and returned the decision to the states. And some states had stricter rules, some states had not as strict rules. But even I think I said this before, even like the strictest states like Idaho, Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, those states still had abortions. They had 2 weeks, and then that was allowed for abortion. And then they often had, you're allowed to get an abortion if the baby's or mom's is in danger, like in direct danger, or you're still allowed to get an abortion if you get raped or in an incest situation.
Yeah. I don't see how these really stupid people that believe it don't actually do their research. They just believe what's told to them by the media.
Well, instead,
it doesn't matter.
They just listen to what the TV says, and the TV tells them to be mad, so they get mad.
Just like the other day, like 2 days ago, the other day I met this person the other day in public that was trying to convince me that CNN wasn't fake news, and that Fox News is the fake news and stuff. And she just went on a big huge rant about Trump and shit.
Why can't it be the fake news? They're both the state-sponsored news outlets. One is Republicans, one is for the Democrats to listen to. Both of them just give the narrative of the other and argue with each other constantly. And the whole idea is to get you guys to arguing about bullshit culture stuff, that rather than actually paying attention.
Well, none of the news. As time goes on, the news outlets have become irrelevant now. Now with podcasts and stuff, that's
what I said.
That's the news is kind of dead. So that doesn't really, no one really cares about what the news is gonna say.
Me, I don't.
But
I don't watch news anymore. Instead, what I do in the morning is I wake up in the morning. I'll scroll a little bit through social media. After I get dressed and brush my teeth, I scroll a little bit through social media, and then I'll do some micro learning. And then after that, I go and I listen to Larry Sharp podcast, Jimmy Dore show, or Joe Rogan show, or Ron Paul Liberty Report. And those are all podcasts that I listen to.
And when I'm doing shit, when I'm when I'm like doing the yard or when I'm like working and shit, driving, I would usually play like the Daily Wire or like PBD podcasts.
Yeah, PBD is pretty cool too. I used to listen to the Daily Wire a lot, but I don't really listen to them that much anymore, honestly. I'd rather listen to Ron Paul's Liberty Report
Oh,
or
and
the Earthway Show, in my opinion.
I also like also not only that, I also go on YouTube and I listen to Officer Tatum and what is that? Ryan Kinnell, the RK Outpost, and Josiah Rises. They do a lot of well, like Josiah Rises. He does more of like the Hollywood side of like politics and stuff. So
And
like I always
watch,
would listen to his videos.
I also watch like Sports Wars too. Yeah,
On Sports Wars, I was just gonna say that Sports Wars as well, which is Ryan Kinnell's other his sports version of his channel.
yeah.
So yeah, those listening, check out those channels. They're like when you're doing things and you want to listen to something play in the background, check out those YouTube channels.
Check out because a lot of them have some pretty good information for you guys to check out. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So we do have a lot of sources to always try to keep updated on. A whole lot of it's good that we have so many sources that we can actually go look at, rather than back in the day. You just had like a few TV stations, and then whatever they say goes.
Yeah.
And it used to be a lot less information than we have now, because now you could just get a computer like me over here. You can get an iPad or a laptop.
I mean, we not even that. We got smartphones. Like we have easy access right there from a click.
Yeah, and you turn on
So
Instagram and all your news for the day. Sometimes you just get all your news from the day from Instagram.
like actually, it's actually a lot easier. Like now, it's actually a lot easier to access that than like what's on TV, because you gotta have cable, you gotta be at home, or what all this other stuff with podcasts and YouTube and shit.
All you need
We all have it right here on our smartphones.
Smartphone and Wi-Fi. A smartphone and Wi-Fi.
Yeah, all you need is a smartphone.
And Wi-Fi, and that's all you need. You can go to McDonald's and get Wi-Fi, or you could have Wi-Fi in your home already, or you can have a personal hotspot or whatever, or you have cellular data. But all you need is smartphone and Wi-Fi and satellite signal.
Yeah.
And then you're good. And then you have all the information at your fingertips, basically. And then you can just do your own research, is what I would tell people.
Well, yeah, that's what I think about. That's what I think about the mainstream media. It's a bunch of crap, and especially CNN. They're fucking, especially the fucking left wing media. They're just they're lying to our faces and shit. But like who really cares anyways? Because it doesn't work. Clearly, it doesn't work anymore because they lost the election. But yeah, like check out YouTube channels and podcasts. Don't listen to the fucking mainstream media. It's a bunch of crap.
Yeah. And then I think I have a couple other newses to basically conclude this, and then we can wrap up the podcast. One of the big things going on is that the President Trump actually put out this message the other day. He said the Gaza Strip should be overturned to the United States by Israel at the conclusion of the fighting. The Palestinians, people like Chuck Schumer, would have already been resettled in far safer and more beautiful communities with new modern homes in the region. They would actually have a chance to be happy, safe, and free. The U.S., with great development teams from all over the world, would slowly and carefully begin the construction of what would be one of the greatest, most spectacular developments of its kind on Earth. No soldiers by the U.S. would be needed. Stability for the region would reign. So Donald Trump is basically saying what the U.S. should do is is after Israel and Gaza make a deal, they want to basically level all of the still standing buildings in Gaza and basically do what the Patrick meme says. Let's just take Gaza Strip and move it somewhere else. So they're just gonna move everyone somewhere else, and yeah, it's kind of a bit crazy, but Trump says that there won't be any soldiers needed, so it's very interesting.
Yeah,
And
it is.
he basically wants to, Donald Trump basically he wants to end this war, and I'm in complete agreement. We need to end the Gaza war already. However, the only bad thing is that he's basically giving Bibi Netanyahu exactly what he wants. Because Bibi Netanyahu, for the longest, has wanted the Palestinians out of Gaza Strip. He just wants them to be gone so that way they could take the land. And that's what he's saying as well, is he's going to turn over Gaza Strip to Israel. Now, the main problem with that is that all the Gazans, Muslims and Orthodox Christians that live there, have been there for literally centuries, are just going to be relocated so that way Israel can claim this land. And there's a whole project of, I believe it's called Project 2030 for Israel. And basically, it is a plan to basically expand Israel, the Greater Israel project, actually, is what it's called. But they're hiding it. But their main name for it is Project 2030. And Israel wants to expand out to Syria and Gaza and take over all this land belong to other citizens and move their people in there. So, and there's oil and natural resources, oceanfront property, trade routes, all at stake. Huge, complex geopolitical qualms with that one. Yeah, I feel like Donald Trump, what he's kind of doing here is he's kind of trying to treat the Gaza situation like it's like it's a natural disaster, when in actuality this is all Bibi Netanyahu is doing, and this is what Netanyahu wants. He wants the Gazans out of there so he could just go forward with the Greater Israel project. So a very scary thing.
Indeed. Anything else you're gonna add on? Any other news?
Honestly, I just want to say basically conclude this. I think a lot of our situation globally is going to, we're probably going to eventually improve. I know a lot of the Democrats right now, you'll see them trying to taunt you guys on the conservative side. They'll try to taunt you, and they'll try to taunt us as well because we've also voted for Trump, and say, oh, see, your egg prices haven't lowered. But, the reason the egg prices haven't lowered is because, for one, we're coming off of COVID-19 stagflation from the lockdowns. Then Joe Biden spent a whole bunch of money. As we saw, a bunch of that taxpayer dollar was uncovered through Doge with the USAID, as we went over earlier in this podcast. And that caused a lot of inflation. The Fed had to print out a whole bunch of money, billions and trillions of dollars of money, printed that wasn't completely backed by our fuel because, Joe Biden was cutting the amount of fuel we were exporting and importing to, combat climate change. And that slowed down our economy even more, causing inflation and debt. And now the egg prices aren't there because, well, there's the whole trade war going on in, with Mexico and Canada. I believe Mexico is going to cave pretty soon, but Canada looks like it wants to hold firm for the time being. I don't know how long they can do it because their economy is also weak. But yeah, there's that as well. And we also have avian flu that we're dealing with. So egg prices are going to be high for the time being. But I think once we start getting into having our sustainable agriculture, which I see some local farmers are getting back into it, and we're seeing more chicken farmers, I think we'll eventually have more eggs once this avian flu is basically passed over, and then the egg prices will drop. Might take like a year. But I think we're going to be in an okay spot, at least domestically. Foreign policy, it's a little bit different, but I don't think we're going to be in any major wars, at least for a while.
Yeah. Just hope it comes in time eventually.
Yeah, hopefully. You gotta have a little bit of hope with this. Gotta hope that these egg prices will drop because I know everyone's money's tight right now. I've got $50 on the bank honestly, and I need to. I'm waiting for payday any day now. So yeah, well, hopefully those egg prices drop, but it will drop. It's just going to take a little bit of time because of all the bullshit we've been through.
Yep.
Any closing remarks on your end?
Yeah, those of you watching, check out my channel. I have a few shorts I have uploaded.
Shoes of a champion.
Shoes of a champion. And yeah, nothing else. Don't watch the stupid bowl. It's a waste of time. It's just glorified commercials. It's not that great. I mean, if you were to ask me what I think about the stupid bowl, I covered it. But yeah, I think it's a bunch of garbage, and it's not worth wasting. There's a lot better things that you could be doing than sitting down on your couch and watching 6 hours of commercials. So yeah, if you want my advice, don't watch the stupid bowl. And yeah, stay tuned.
Yep, stay tuned. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys all for your comments. Definitely got a few of them in this chat bar. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have for the news today. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't already, be sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, and subscribe for more. And of course, check out Shoes Champion, his YouTube channel as well. He's got shorts uploaded and other cool content for you guys to check out there. Thank you guys. Goodbye. Alrighty, and then the live stream in 5, 4, 3, 2,